Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm Leanne and this is my weight loss journey. Today is Tuesday and I'm just doing a little bit of update of what I've been up to and just saving memories really. So it's been a little bit of a different week for me this week. I started the week after I got weighed on Thursday. It's funny because now my start of the week is Thursday. It's like a fresh start. It's where I refocus, and isn't it weird because traditionally that used to be a Monday, but now it's Thursday. So I haven't updated since my last weigh-in. And I thought, right, I'm going to try and get one on so you can see what I'm up to, what my weeks looks like, and like how I'm feeling. Because I feel like a lot at the minute, my videos have been just like, oh, this is my week, this is what I've ate, and this is what I've lost. And it's not really where I wanted my channel just to be. It's just life's been super busy. I wanted to start off by saying I want to apologise a little bit because I haven't been as good on YouTube as what I have been previously. And when I say that, last night I realised that there's loads of comments that I haven't, that I've missed, that I've overlooked, and then weeks have gone by and I haven't replied. And I just think that's really rude, because if people have taken the time to say hi to me and congratulate me on what I've done, or give me a bit of advice or tell me a bit about themselves, it's really crap that I've then not replied. So I am slowly trying to work through previous comments as well as reply to the current comments, if that makes sense. So I really do apologise. It's not really fair, and I'm not meaning to be disrespectful, but I find it quite disrespectful. So if you've left a comment and I've not got back to you yet, it's not because I'm trying to be rude. It's just because I've just been really busy and I've not been very well, and I've just been trying to survive life. But I will get there, and I am really sorry. It's not intentional. It's just how life's ended up. I haven't even got my nails done and I feel like I've got man hands, but it will get better. I am gonna actively try and work on that, which I started last night. So you might have got a comment from me from something that you left 2 weeks ago. So that is why. Thursday was okay. I didn't have a cheat day. I've tried to knock cheat days on the head. So I used to have it. I didn't used to do it every week, but I used to always relax a little bit on a Thursday and probably go over my sins and overindulge and not be that focused. I was talking to Oliver about it, and I don't do that anymore on a Thursday. It's just another day on plan, really. I'm quite enjoying plan. I think my want and desires and food choices have completely changed. I'm not really craving as much crappy, rubbish food. I'm not saying I never do, because I do sometimes. Hormonally, I do feel the need to, I want to binge sometimes, but a lot of the sugar cravings have gone, if I'm going to be honest. So when I first started this, I used to crave something carby, something fatty, something fast foody. Chocolate was a massive thing for me. And without even realising it, I'm not actually that bothered about chocolate anymore. I can take it or leave it. I do enjoy chocolate if I eat it. It's nice, it tastes nice. But it's quite nice to be in a position where I think, because I've not had chocolate all the time like I used to, that kind of food addiction seems to have gone a lot. I do have cravings for stuff when I'm having a massive hormonal like surge. But in terms of like thinking about it now and reflecting on it, like every night we were at a point where we were sharing a box of Maltesers, and I really, really, really craved chocolate, and it felt like I got my fix when I ate it. And now it doesn't feel like that as much. Like yesterday I went out with Lily, we had to go to the hospital and stuff like that, and because I'd not planned it properly, I ended up having one of the high five chocolate bars. And I ate it and I just had one and I was okay. So before, when I used to eat those, I was kind of having them in replacement of chocolate and sweets and all the stuff as like an healthy option. And one was never enough. It was never ever enough. It was never satisfying. And as soon as I'd like had that chocolatey kind of taste in my mouth, I really craved another one. And I had one yesterday while I was at the hospital, and I had another one available. It's not like I couldn't have eaten two, but I was hungry to a point of, do you know where you feel like a little bit empty and a bit sicky? I was a bit like that because I'd not had anything to eat. And usually when I'm at that point, I would have had one of those bars and be like, I want to eat like 5 of those. And yesterday I ate one and it got rid of that like sicky feeling, and it was nice and I enjoyed it, and I do eat those, but it didn't make me want to like binge and like have several, if that actually makes sense. And that feels strange for me because although I've been on this journey a long time, I don't actually feel like my head is there. I still feel like I'm back to where I used to start. So like what I expect of myself is what I was before. And it's weird when something like that happens to me. It just feels completely different. And it's almost alien. Like my body feels alien to me. The way I look feels alien to me. The clothes I'm wearing is just completely alien to me. Like when I wash my clothes and we'll go to hang them on the line, if we ever get any sunshine for them to dry outside on the line, like I'm used to picking up my trousers and I'm like being this big and hanging them on the line. And sometimes I pick them up and I put them on and I think, they can't be mine. They're not mine. They're all mine, and I've wore those, and that's why I'm washing them, but that doesn't seem normal. And that's kind of like where I'm at the minute. And people keep saying to me stuff like, oh, you must feel so much better. You must feel like this, you must feel like that. And I do, if I really, really like sit and think about the changes that this journey's made for me and the stuff that I'm able to do. I think the things that make me feel better, or like, don't get me wrong, sometimes like you put clothes on and you think, oh my God, that actually fits, or oh, I've got more choice and things like that. But if somebody was to stop me in the street, a total stranger, and ask me what feels better for me since I've been on this journey, I would probably come up with more of the like, it feels better that I can tie my shoes without passing out, because I never could do that before. Like I used to have to get in some mega positions to get my foot near my body so I could like tie my shoe. And if I made myself like bend forward and do that, then I literally cut off my circulation and I couldn't breathe. So like that feels better. It feels better when we're walking around. Like in my head, I feel like I've still got that barrier there to walking around, as I'm already thinking that that's going to make me tired and it's going to be really hard. But then when I'm actually doing it, it's not half as hard as what it used to be. And that is weird. Like that feels weird that my head's still there, where I feel like I weigh as much as what I did, and that the effects of weighing that amount are still there, but in actual fact they're not. And that's really difficult. Like sometimes I'm really good with it, but sometimes I'm I'm not. Like, my head is still there, and it's a really funny one, and it's really difficult to kind of describe. And I suppose if somebody's not been in that position, it must be difficult for you to understand that, but that's where I am, and just really weird. And everything about me, my life at the minute, feels pretty alien. And so when people ask me if I feel better, my initial thought is, I feel like I did before. Like, I don't feel that much different. But then I have good days and I do feel better and things do feel different. But I don't know. I think as mind's a really powerful thing, and I think it's sometimes like I watch channels where people have lost weight and they'll come and say like, oh, I feel amazing. I feel like this. This is all so much better. I've totally revolutionized my life. And they have. And I'm not saying they don't feel like that. But for me, I'd say 75% of the time, I feel like Leanne. I feel like no matter how much I weigh and how much I lose, because I've spent so long being Leanne that was overweight. And I remember I've been overweight my entire life, even as a kid, like a little kid. I'm not like, this isn't that I've put weight on after I had children or when I went to uni or when I was at college. This isn't like, I've had no time in my life where I've been thin and classed as thin or skinny or normal even. I've not even been normal. And so I don't really see myself being there. I think I'll always be that person. And maybe because I've been there and I've had them experiences, that like I have got massive empathy for anybody that is struggling then with their weight. And I'm not talking like a lot struggling with the weight. Anybody struggling with the weight and feeling the impact of feeling overweight, like I have a massive amount of empathy because that is still my entire life. And I think I kind of don't want to lose that. I don't want to not be that person, because that person's like empathetic and kind and understanding, and I like that. And I don't want to not be that. And so I'm struggling a little bit with letting that go. With then, like, I've had a talk with Oliver, like, during the same conversation. And he was like, well, I think you're quite a normalish weight now. And I'm not, but I'm getting into like a size 12 to 14 clothes. And so in terms of clothes size, I suppose in a way, even like saying this now is really weird. I am normal. If there is a normal, like that word makes me feel so uncomfortable. But I suppose I could be classed as normal and average. But for me, I still see myself as plus size. And I'm not sure if or when does that change? Do I need to work on changing that? Do I want to work on changing that? Because I don't want to, I don't know, some people that are thinner can be really mean and judgmental on people that are overweight. And I don't want to be that person. And I never in my wildest dreams thought I could say ever that I would ever be a size 12 to 14. I would be more than happy at a 16 when I was first started this. Like, if you watch my old videos, I'm quite happy. Like, 16 seemed like an absolute dream, a fantasy, I'm going to call it, something that was never going to happen. And to say that, like, I'm comfortably now into a 14 and edging into a 12, it just doesn't seem, it doesn't seem normal. And for me, it just doesn't seem to click. And that's kind of where I I am at the minute, and that's what's going through my brain at the minute. I did realise actually that I've not been showing you guys my. Can you remember I bought a brown wooden dress from a charity shop, and I was putting pound coins in it to get to 12.5 stone. Well, I have been doing that. I just forget to show you all the time because generally I forget to put the pounds in when on weigh day, and then I'll just put them in later. And at the minute, actually, it's not even full. I've had to put the pounds up to where I'm up to, and there's like a gap because I've not had any change. But I'm doing that, and that's getting quite full, and that's like really nice. And I don't know, I've had quite a reflective week. I think it's because I've spent quite a bit of time on my own because Oliver's been working loads and I've been working loads. And yeah, that's where my little head is at this week. I think I'm being very reflective, and it's not particularly come out with good outcomes. Like I'm not feeling super positive, and I'm a little bit confused, and I don't really know how to overcome that. Like I do a lot of work on myself and my behaviors, and that's been difficult, but then it's also been quite easy because it's been reflecting on stuff that I've just had to change about myself that I found quite easy. Not easy, but there's been something solid there, and I've kind of known how to overcome that. And then I've got this problem here about like how I view myself, and like as you know, I've been quite harmful to myself with words and the way that I viewed myself previously. And I think that I'm getting better with that. I am saying on like literally every video I used to come on and be like, oh, I'm really fat and ugly. I'm really fat and ugly. Oh yeah, I'm really fat and ugly. And it was said sometimes in a jerky way and sometimes in a serious way, but always in quite an honest way that that's how I view myself. And I would never like describe myself as attractive because I'm just not that attractive. I don't think I'm really ugly like this. And before anybody starts, I this is not fishing for compliments. This is me reflecting on how I feel this week about myself and something for me to work on. And I always find it good to do a video when I feel like this because then it gives me like a starting point when I watch it back. But I've even like, no matter what I'm doing, even if I get really dressed up and do my makeup and my hair and I think everything looks okay, I can look in the mirror and I just don't ever feel very pretty or sexy. And I think it's getting a little bit more difficult to think about that because I used to pin it all on the fact that I was really overweight. And it was like, oh, because I'm overweight, I'm just not attractive. That's just not me, and that's not who I am. And now I've lost weight, it's kind of forcing me to look at that. And in actual fact, I think I just don't view myself as very attractive. And I don't know whether that's conditioning, behavioural, reinforced. I've had some really shitty relationships. I'm not really sure where that is, and that's something that I need to work on. Yeah, it's quite difficult, but it's a challenge that I'm willing to take on. I'm not bothered about me really looking at myself as totally normal or really attractive. And I suppose it's quite difficult because I haven't really got the desire to be like that. But I do think I need to get my head into a better place where that's concerned, and that is something that I need to work on. So that's really what's happened to me this week. This week I've been really good so far. I went out on a night out on Saturday to get dressed up and actually work on this. But all it's done is really highlight. It took me off a plan because I drank absolutely loads. But it was a good night. I had fun. It's something that I needed. I think I needed to let my hair down and kind of cleanse. I sometimes need to like have a bit of a cleanse away from life to be able to look at life and be a bit clearer about where I'm heading and what I'm doing. So that is where I'm on at this week. The only day off plan I've had is the Saturday. Today's Tuesday. I'm feeling very focused. I'm feeling absolutely fine. I've been eating generally what I usually eat because I've been really busy. Vinton, I've just been listing and trying to get like at least 5 items up a day and posting out. And then I've had work. I've had Lily at the hospital for cardiology tests. She's fine. We're just trying to get a diagnosis for whatever is going off with her so we can deal with it. Like I said, I've not really seen or done anything with Oliver. Not gonna lie, that's made me feel a little bit lonely, but it's also in a good way given me a bit of space to myself to actually concentrate on myself. He's been eating on his own as well, which he has been for a few weeks, and that's also pretty good because it allows me to focus more. And because he can eat whatever he wants, I don't think he understands being focused on a diet. So yeah, that's been a positive. So I'm going to stop rambling. That is my heavy week so far. I hope you're having a good week, and I will try to update again soon. Thanks then.